So from being a fat slob on the sofa to a food conscious prick on the sofa. What's going on, people? Tschaikowsky checking in once again. So how did I do it? From looking 28 going on 40 to going back to my actual age, which at the time was about 24. Ultimately, it came down to lifestyle. And before I get into it, I want to explain how this came about. Flashback to February 2020, and I was at an all-time low. I had some really bad habits, just drinking, smoking, and my diet was awful, if you even call it a diet. A standard day for me would be wake up, go smoke, go down and get some breakfast, which will consist of a gargantuous amount of pork, power through my work with coffee and cookies every 15 minutes, which would reach me to about 4 o'clock, at which point I'll clock off from work and crack open a crate and probably have about 6 or 7 beers every single day. And this would happen on a daily routine. What started as like a one-off bad habit slowly fell into a regular occurrence, and to be honest with you, it was killing me. The haze of my hangover really blurred my perception. I became unmotivated, unfit, and I looked horrendously rough all the time. But one day, something quite mad happened, and people don't believe me to this day, but I basically had some sort of epiphany. I basically met this lady that performs Reiki, and I know what you're probably thinking, what the fuck's Shaky? And I learned Reiki is a form of physical and emotional healing powered by the universe. I know, it sounds fucking mad. But basically, I had this session with her and it brought out so many emotions, and I can't begin to describe the feeling that I felt during this session. But ultimately, at the end of it, it gave me a huge realization. I was depressed. The illusion that bad food and alcohol put over me made me think that everything's okay, and it wasn't. And it was from this day that I decided I'm going to change my life. And this is ultimately where my journey into the fitness world started. I did some home research about nutrition and exercise, as everyone does when they first start. At the start, I decided, right, I'm gonna have a high protein fueled diet. And for those who don't realize, this can actually be really beneficial when trying to lose weight. Protein can be quite rewarding and also quite filling when you eat it. And unlike carbs and fats, it's less likely to be stored in your body as fat. And on top of this, I began cycling. Whoa, this was the craziest realization. So there I am, I've got my Lycra on, I've got my glasses on. Day one, I set off for an 8-mile cycle. Within 15 minutes, I was borderline having cardiac arrest. That Lycra clothing was doing nothing to save me. Honestly, this Lycra, it was so tight, it was like a cow trying to fit into a child's sock. It was disgusting. But nevertheless, I was relentless, and fast forward about 2 months, I was cycling 20 miles every single day. At this point, weight was dropping, and it was dropping fast. But this, strangely enough, opened a whole new world of issues for me, where I started being addicted to the scales going down. My relationship with food went, to be honest, a bit mad. Like, I really struggled to eat, and at one point, I was on about 1.2 thousand calories every single day. My maintenance is way above that. It was so unhealthy. On top of that, I was doing the cardio, and it was almost killing me. I remember there was this period where I'd sit down, let's say on the sofa, and I'd struggle to get up because I had such little energy because I had no food in me. You know, food is fuel, and I didn't have any fuel. And looking back on it, it's quite sickening because I was unfit in a completely different way. So from being a fat slob on the sofa to a food conscious prick on the sofa, it was no better. It was at this point I started doing weight training, and this is because I heard it's good for fat loss, but also builds your muscles. So proportionally, you look like you lose weight quicker and you get bigger in the right way. So I started weight training at home. I started seeing some definition quite early, as everyone does when they first start. But eventually, I basically hit that plateau where I wasn't progressing any further, and I realized it's because I'm not eating enough. I have to eat more in order to see more definition, get more bulkier, get more stronger. I shouldn't have enough food in me to fuel my workouts and also help me recover. Before you know it, I started to get into a real passion of building muscle. And this kind of replaced my obsession with losing weight. And at this point, I started eating a lot more food. Fast forward 7 months, I'm much happier with my physique. I'm much bigger, stronger, fuller. I'm weighing in about 84 kilograms. Lean bulking, obviously, I haven't fully shaped my obsession with getting too much fat on me. But here we are, baby, on the road to 90 kg. As a result, losing this weight, building a bit of muscle, stop smoking, stop drinking, and eating a good diet has genuinely shaved 5 years off the way I look, and probably 10 years off the way I feel. You know, I'm a completely different person. I was looking rough this time last year, but now I'm feeling better. I'm feeling more agile, but most importantly, I'm fucking mentally stable. Probably don't look mentally stable how hard I just tapped my head, but I feel good up there. I feel good. So I've learned a lot over the last year, and these, in summary, are 5 of my most important takeaways from what I've learned. Not takeaways in Chinese takeaway, like takeaway points. Arigato. Number 1, be realistic. When I started, I wanted to lose weight and I wanted to lose it fast. And the only way I thought of achieving this was basically to starve myself. This is not healthy nor a sustainable way to lose fat. In fact, this has caused a lot of people to go back to their old habits even harder than they originally were. So yeah, set a goal that's achievable. For example, if you're 15 stone of donuts, don't expect to be 12 stone within 2 months. It's just not gonna happen. Number 2, drink lots of water. Oh my God, I never realized the importance of actually keeping your body hydrated. What was I thinking? Water is an absolute necessity to helping you lose weight, keeping your body hydrated, healthy and energized. For me, it helps me keep massively focused. Also, when I was losing weight, it helped me suppress my appetite, which at the time made a real difference. And the biggest tip I have with water is when you first wake up in the morning, roll out of bed, grab a pint of water, down it. Scrap the coffee. It will feel so good starting your day with a pint of water. I used to go for a coffee, but I found out the coffee, if you get for a coffee straight away in the morning, it dehydrates you. Oh, and get yourselves one of these. I'll call it a chug jug. 2.2 litres of water, a couple of these. You'd never have to refill your bottle. Number 3, enjoy your food. When I started, I quickly developed this relationship with food where I saw it as the enemy. But food is there to be enjoyed. Ultimately, it comes down to moderation, how much of it you're consuming. Sure, you can have a piece of chocolate cake, you can have a cookie, but you can't have it every single meal because you're just gonna get fat. But having it in moderation acts as a reward. So for example, every single week, whether I intentionally do it or not, I have a cheat meal. And this is biscuits, chocolate, all in one sitting. It's disgusting and I feel horrendous for it the following day, every single time. But having that meal is a reward for all the hard work that I put in during that week. I know a lot of people argue you shouldn't have cheat meals, but for me, it keeps me motivating. And although I might not be making progress as fast as I possibly could, I'm making progress steadily, which is important. Number 4, have a goal in mind. When I started, I didn't have a goal, which basically meant that I didn't have any direction with what I was doing. I didn't know what I needed to eat. I didn't know when I needed to eat it. Because I didn't really know what I wanted, I was kind of in this limbo phase where I wasn't really losing weight, wasn't really gaining muscle. I didn't have a set direction, and ultimately I wasted time. One really important thing related to your goal is understand your maintenance calories. The maintenance calories are basically roughly how many calories on average you consume every single day. Therefore, if you're trying to lose weight, the general rule of thumb is to take off 200-300 calories, and that puts you in a calorie deficit. Ultimately meaning every day you're burning more calories in than you're consuming, which in result makes you lose body fat. Alternatively, if you're skinny or you're bulking up, add 200-300 calories onto your maintenance and you will gradually see your weight increase. For those who aren't familiar, I'll put a link in the description of a calorie calculator that you can use. And finally, number 5, if all else fails, get professional advice. Go to one of your local PTs and ask their advice. Yes, it's quite scary to part with your money, but if you actually want to lose weight, then this will absolutely, I guarantee, be worth every single penny you pay. They know what they're doing. They can easily point you and give you that direction you need from the get-go so you can start seeing progress within the first week. I wish I got professional advice when I first started. I was so naive, thought I knew it all, went in that direction and didn't get what I wanted to achieve, and I wonder why. But yeah, if you're unsure, get professional advice. So there we have it. How I shaved 5 years off my life. If not more, if you take it into account, probably where I'd be if I carry on smoking. But anyway, hopefully you took something from this video. And if you found it useful or you enjoyed it, please smash that like button and make sure you're subscribed. We are now striving to put out a video every single week, so there's tons more content to come. Thank you for tuning in. This has been Tschaikowsky, checking out.